Okay, so it's been a couple months since my last race. Well, it's been a couple months since my last marathon. And right after my last marathon, my buddy Judson had said, you know what, Matt, maybe you should think about doing the Tallahassee Marathon. And that kind of planted a seed. But I looked at my calendar and I realized that I was busy the weekend of the Tallahassee Marathon. Then things changed. So right now I am 3 hours into a 5-hour drive heading up to Tally for the Tallahassee Marathon tomorrow. Now, if you remember my pre-race video before I ran the Jacksonville Marathon, that was late December, you remember some of the race predictions that, I don't know, Chorus and Stride, that they came up with. And then I made a race prediction based on those predictions. So just while I'm driving, just to take up some of my time while I'm on this very long road trip, I looked at some of the race predictions again, and they've changed just a little bit from the last time I raced a marathon. Now that's probably because I did run the Punta Gorda half marathon, which kind of skewed my times a little faster. And so even though that my times are a little faster than they were predicted for the Jacksonville Marathon, I'm still going to make a prediction that is a little slower than those predictions, just because I don't think that I can meet these predictions that some of these websites are telling me. But let's start off with the fastest, and that's Stride. And I wear my Stride foot pod on every run. And the Stride prediction is based off a flat marathon course. And just so you know, the Tallahassee Marathon is not flat. It's not a flat course. I think the last half, maybe 3/4 are fairly flat, but it's fairly hilly in the beginning, at least for me, who lives in a very flat part of Florida. And if you don't know where Tallahassee is up in the panhandle of Florida, and I'm down south of Tampa on the Gulf Coast in Sarasota. So there is a really big difference in the hills between where I live and the Tallahassee Marathon. But overall, I think it's going to be a pretty flat course for most of it. Just the hills in the beginning, they're going to be a bit of a challenge. Gosh, I'm really throwing out the excuses before I even told you the prediction. But Stride predicts that I can run a flat marathon in 2 hours, 54 minutes and 56 seconds. Now, Stride also says that is plus or minus 4 minutes. So if I plus 4 minutes to that, that gives me a time of 2 hours, 58 minutes and 56 seconds. So about 2:59, still sub 3. I'm really not sure if I'm in sub 3 shape, especially on a course that is fairly hilly in the beginning. But anyway, that's a good place for me to start, because next is Chorus. Now, I do wear my Chorus Pace 2 on most runs, and that is giving me a marathon prediction of 3 hours and 1 minute exactly. So if I take into account the margin of error with Stride, they're only about 2 minutes apart in their predicted time. Still, I know how I feel when I'm running that pace. I'm not sure if I can hold on to 26 miles or 42 kilometers at that pace. But of course, it's good to think that Chorus and Stride think higher of me than I think of myself. And then, of course, we have Metathon. And Metathon is a website that you link to your Strava. And it takes into all the activities that you've done, that you've posted to Strava, and it gives you a marathon time. And Metathon has given me a predicted marathon time of 3 hours, 13 minutes and 37 seconds. So that is quite remarkably slower than Stride and Chorus is predicting. So here's the thing. I don't think I can run as fast as Stride is predicting. I think maybe on a downhill course I could run as fast as Chorus is predicting, and I think I can run much faster than Metathon using my Strava data is predicting. So right now, okay, I'm just going to come out and say it. I would like to run a 3:05. That's my A goal. So 3:05, I would be very happy. Remember, I ran a 3:08:30 last year in the Boston Marathon, and I ran a 3:09:57 in December at Jacksonville. Keep in mind, Jacksonville was pretty good conditions on a very flat course, and I ran a 3:10. So 3:05 being my A goal is a bit of a stretch, and I usually make my A, B, and C goals 5 minutes apart. So if my A goal is 3:05, I'm going to make my B goal 3:10, and then C goal 3:15. But if I do run a 3:05, that means I get to update my time for the Boston Marathon, which means I get to start the Boston Marathon closer to the front, in a wave closer to the front. Because as it stands right now, at Boston, I don't know where I'm going to be. I think I could be starting in the second wave this year, based on my qualifying time of 3 hours, 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Once you guys come along, you are going to skip the next couple hours as I drive up to Tally. We're going to go to the Race Expo, which is in a hotel, not the hotel I'm staying in, but another hotel. Then I'll show you the hotel room, I'll get settled, show you what I'm gonna have for dinner, and then, I don't know, wish me luck. I will see you in a couple hours or about 120 miles. See you. Oh my gosh, I am finally here. That was a long drive. Oh, I really have to use the loo. It's a lovely day, a bit chilly, but something I'm surprised at. I haven't been in Tally in, I don't know, 25 years. And I don't remember actually my trip here before, but it's a lot hillier than I remember. Just driving here, it's all hills up and down. And then I pulled up a map of the course, and yeah, it's pretty hilly up to about 8 miles, 9 miles. And there are some sections where there are at least 100 feet of gain. So it's gonna be pretty hilly, but I'm running by power, so I guess it doesn't really matter. I'll just keep an eye on that power number and do what I do. All right, let's get to this packet pickup, and then it's time to get to the hotel and put my feet up. All right, it actually looks like the packet pickup is inside. I thought it was set up outside, but that was something else.
I'm not confident or anything today. Yeah, I put this on.
Okay, here is the marathon course, although it doesn't really tell me anything as far as the elevation. I don't care which way it goes as long as there is there's enough direction telling me which way to go. But let's look up on course. Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Matt Bertrand. There's your bib.
Lucky 13.
Oh.
Look at this, number 13. Is that lucky or unlucky? I think I'm gonna say it's a lucky number, lucky 13. One thing that I really like about this marathon is that they don't make you take a shirt. So you have the option to buy a shirt, you can pay extra and get a shirt, but if you don't want one, you don't have to take one. And I think that is really good because it just stops unnecessary shirts being made, which hopefully is better for the environment, you know? Anyway, I like it. I guess if I could opt out of receiving a shirt or a medal every time, I would definitely do that. And now I've got to find my hotel. All right, almost to the room. Oh, it's a pretty nice room. Pretty nice room. Got a little sitting area, king size bed. Let's just have a look at the bathroom. Yeah, this will do. This will do for the 12 hours that I'm here. Okay, so I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna do some exploring. I just have to find out where the race starts, where the race ends, and where I'm gonna park in both cases. At this point, I'm not sure if I'm gonna park at the start or the finish, because they're about a mile apart. But I'll check back in just before dinner. So I just went out, I just went to the finish line, and it looks like the finish line is going to be the best place for me to park. Then they have a shuttle, which will take me to the start line, which is about 1.2 miles away. Then at the end of the race, I can jump in the car, drive back to the hotel, shower, and then jump back in the car for 5 hours home. Now the hotel where I'm staying at is actually walking distance to the start line, but I'm trying to do a fast forward and think to myself, how am I gonna feel at the end of the race? Do I wanna wait for a shuttle that will take me back to the start line, then I can walk a quarter mile back to the hotel, or would I rather just jump in the car and drive straight to the hotel on my schedule? I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I have my outfit for tomorrow all set up on the bed. Not really anything special with that, it's just shorts and t-shirt like I normally wear when I go for a run. I am going to be running in the Endorphin Pro 3 tomorrow. Stride foot pod is already in place. I do have a throwdown jumper, and that's because it is going to be quite cold in the morning. I think it's going to be 45 degrees Fahrenheit at the start and then around 60 degrees Fahrenheit at the finish. So it's going to be very cold at the start and a bit warm towards the end. And I've got to say, I'm a bit nervous about these hills. Like driving here, some of these hills are steep, but what goes up must come down. So that's it, wish me luck. Also, if you think I am capable of running a 3:05 marathon based on the information that you have seen today, like stride, chorus, marathon? Let me know in the comments. Do find that those estimates are a bit aggressive, but we're gonna find out. And of course, we do have to keep in mind that the recommendations are based on a flat course. And although this course is mostly flat-ish, it is very hilly in the first 8 or 9 miles. Okay, it is about 3:30 in the afternoon. I'm already hungry, so I should probably have an early dinner, then I'm gonna have an early night, and really, I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed that I get a good night's sleep. Doesn't feel like I'm really nervous at the moment, but you never know until you get in bed and you find out that you can't sleep. All right, be kind, be happy, run well. I'll see you in a couple of days.